Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kristen,
And I am Rashid.
and we are your host for the annual meeting of the Physiological Society.
And we all know that all of the body system must be in balance for the body to live and operate properly. First of all, what is homeostasis, Kristen?
Alright, homeostasis is a state of constant internal, physical, and chemical circumstances that biological systems sustain. This is a state of optimal functioning for an organism in which several variables, such as body temperature and fluid balance, are maintained within predetermined boundaries.
Thank you for that wonderful information, Kristen.
It's my pleasure. But how about its three components, Rush?
Alright, everyone, these are the three components of homeostasis: receptor, center of control, and lastly, the effector. The receptor detects change of the internal environment. Center of control receives and processes information from the receptor and directs a response. And for the last part, the effector carries out the response.
Words, the stimuli sends a signal to the receptor that the normal levels have changed. The receptors then messages the center of control to tell the effector to restore normal balance.
Now, let's tackle about the two feedbacks that happen in homeostasis, which is the positive and the negative feedback.
Positive feedback. A positive feedback loop moves the system further away from the target of equilibrium. It is done by amplifying the effects of a product or event and occurs when something needs to happen quickly.
The examples of positive feedback are childbirth, lactation, and blood clotting.
Negative feedback. The maintenance of homeostasis usually involves negative feedback loops. These loops act to oppose the stimulus or cue that triggers them. For example, if your body temperature is too high, a negative feedback loop will act to bring it down towards the set point.
Now, the examples of negative feedback are thermoregulation, blood sugar regulation, and osmoregulation. We also have an examples of homeostasis: glucose homeostasis, acid-base homeostasis, and lastly, sodium homeostasis. Homeostasis is a very important because it has the role of keeping the proper overall functioning of the body. It's regulated by different mechanisms such as osmoregulation, thermoregulation, and chemical regulation by different systems in the body, like the respiratory system, digestive system, nervous system, and urinary system. This system maintains the stability of the body by releasing the stimulus when the hormone levels increase or decrease, when the stimulus is generated, and the cells act accordingly to maintain the proper functioning of the cell. The feedback mechanisms work and maintain the cells to meet the set point. In addition, homeostasis also keeps the balance within a system that keeps it operating within a range of conditions. Homeostasis also helps organism maintain stable internal and external environment with the best conditions for it to operate. Homeostasis also constantly monitors all systems in the body to detect changes and mechanisms that react to those changes and restore stability. Finally, the failure of homeostatic regulation in just one body system will cause conditions to deteriorate and it may be fatal. Thus, all homeostatic regulation mechanisms must function properly since it is a must for the entire health of an organism. We appreciate your interest in our topic of homeostasis. Thank you.
Thank you for your applause for our presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful night.